This video will be using Civil 3D 2018 and I'll be going over the Sheet Set Manager. What is the Sheet Set Manager? Basically what that does is organizes, displays, and manages sheet sets, which is a named collection of drawing sheets. Each sheet in a sheet set is a layout in a drawing, DWG file. This is located on the Home tab under Palettes, and you'll see a little roll of paper, and that's your Sheet Set Manager. You can also type in the command line sheet set to bring it up, and also control plus the number 4 will also bring it up. I'll go ahead and open up Civil 3D, show you where that's located. So again, on the Home tab, under Palettes, and you'll see a little roll of paper. Go ahead and click that, and I'll open up a splash window or panorama here and give you some options. So the new templates, you'll see little pound signs here, and what that's called is a field. Go to properties. What that's showing here is what that field is located, what it actually is. So if I go up here and select field category is sheet set and its current sheet title, and then this is the basically the format. So it's title case. I'm going to delete that because I just added another one. But in the new templates, that's what it's going to be. So it's going to actually have these pound signs in here on each sheet showing that. And then when you actually create your sheet set, we'll go ahead and add a title in here, and it'll add all those names directly to this in a little format here in a table that you won't have to do. It'll do it automatically. So now we'll go through the steps on the sheet set page wizard. The sheet set, use these options either to create a new sheet set or add to an existing sheet set. You can also specify the storage location of the sheet set file associated with the new or existing sheet set. We're going to create a new sheet set. I'll go over that. Basically what that does is creates a new sheet set using the name of the view frame group displayed in the text box. You can also add to an existing sheet set, and then you can set the sheet set location, and this is where you actually want to store your sheet set in the file that you're using your drawing in. It's a DST file. So in order for someone that's reviewing your job, you want to make sure that that's located in that correct shared folder where your drawing's located. And the sheets, these are options determines how the sheet files will be named and stored. If you have chosen to save all sheets in the current drawing, the all layouts in the current drawing choice on the Create Sheet Wizard's frame group and layouts page, these fields are not available, only read-only, and they're grayed out. Sheet file storage location. This specifies the location where the sheet files created during this session will be located. And then the sheet file name. This specifies the name of the sheet file or files that will be created. So now we'll go ahead and create a sheet set. And the purpose of creating a sheet set is on the new templates, we're going to have titles for each page that will have an actual title page to it. And by creating a sheet set, it'll automatically name those pages to what you want. There will be a new field in the templates that once you click and create a new sheet set, it'll automatically update those, and the tabs at the bottom if you want to on your page numbers. So to create a new sheet set, in the Sheet Set Manager window, you're going to select from the drop-down New Sheet Set. It'll come up with a wizard. Select Existing Drawings, and go ahead and hit the Next key. Name the sheet set whatever you want. So if you want to call it, John Doe Waterway, if that's what you're working on. So you'll name that. In this case, we're just going to call it sheet set example. Store the sheet set data file in the folder of your drawing, which is shown here. Go ahead and click next. Next step is to choose your layouts. So you can browse to your current drawing location. So that's the actual drawing that you're working on. So in this case, the folder that I created, Civil 3D 2018 sheet sets, or in your case, if it's John Doe Waterway, you'd go to the John Doe Waterway folder that you created. Click next. And then what it's going to do, it's going to give you what the actual is called, sheet set example. No layouts are included in this sheet set right now. This is what it's named. The storage location, so that would be under your actual drawing file. And then what it's actually going to call it. So in this case, it's sheet set example.dst, or if we're doing the John Doe Waterway, it would be John Doe Waterway.dst. In this example, it's sheet set data file, sheet set example.dst. If you're doing the John Doe Waterway, it would be named John Doe Waterway DST. Go ahead and click finished. I'm going to go walk you through those steps real quick in Civil 3D. We want to go, once you have your sheet set manager open, new sheet set, and it brings up the sheet set wizard. The first step is to begin existing drawings. Go ahead and click next. Name of sheet set. So again, we can call this example sheet set. And this is basically the drawing name that you want to call it. So John Doe Waterway. Go ahead and store the sheet set data file, which is the DST file. And this is where you want to put it in your working folder of where that actual drawing is located. So you can go ahead and click the three dots here, navigate to your folder, select the folder. So this is the folder, Civil 3D 2018 sheet sets. Click open. That's the folder where the DST file is going to be saved to. Sheet set properties. If there's anything you need to change. In this case, this is the page setup overrides. If you wanted to change that, you could. And then this is also the storage location, once again, where it's being saved at. And then this is also the creation template, which you can leave those as default. Edit custom properties. This is something that you can add within here. We won't get into that too much for the work that we're going to be doing with the sheet sets, but there is additional information that you can add. Go ahead and click OK. Choosing the layouts, go ahead and hit next. So select the folders containing drawings. Layouts in the drawings can be added to the sheet set. Import options. So what it's going to do is prefix sheet titles with file name. Just go ahead and keep that selected. Click OK. Go ahead and hit browse. And this is actually where we're going to go into the DWG file that you've created. So these sheet sets should be created pretty much after you're done the design and you have all your pages set up, but it could be done in the beginning too, and you just can keep adding pages to it as you move through that drawing. Civil 3D, here's a sheet set. Go ahead and click OK. And what it's going to do is going to show you what pages are in that specific drawing. So you'll notice down here, we only had 2 sheets indexed in sheet 1. Go ahead and click OK or next. And again, you can confirm that you're going to bring in sheet sets index, sheet sets sheet 1. And then again, it just kind of gives you an overview of where everything's located at, what the DST file is, and the sheet set storage location, and actually the template that it's going to use when you go to plot it. Go ahead and click finish. And you'll notice here on the left-hand side that it's created a sheet set. One sheet sets index, two sheet sets sheet one. Another way you could do it, once you create your sheet set example, you can right click and import layout as a sheet, and you can browse for the drawing. Browse for that exact same drawing, and you can select the two layouts and then import the ones that are checked. If you have this check prefix sheet titles with the file name, it'll actually have the file name, which is called sheet sets, and then it'll have the index, which is the layout tab name. But if you just want the index to show without the file name, you can uncheck that. All right, so let's go through pulling in the sheet sets, what I just shown you. So if you right click, example sheet set, and you're going to go import layout as sheets, browse for your drawing. So look for the folder, select the drawing you want to import the layouts from, click open, and this states that there are two layouts that are available for import. And again, if you have this checked, it'll have the sheet sets name along with the index, which is the layout name associated with it. But if you don't want the sheet sets name in front of it, which is a drawing name, uncheck that. Go ahead and click import checked. And you'll notice that they come in the same way that the others did. Just a couple different ways of doing it. And you'll notice that index and sheet one are located here also. So now that we have example sheet set, you'll notice the index in sheet one, index and sheet one. So everything is labeled the same. So that's a couple ways that you can do that. The next thing, what we can do, we can go ahead and rename and renumber these. So in this example, I had that selected, meaning the sheet title and along with the sheet name was selected. But maybe you don't want to have that sheet sets in there. You can actually go in and rename and renumber that. We'll go through that option. So in this case, we're just going to call it sheet one index, and you'll notice sheet one index, two plan view details, and then once you create that, it'll actually populate correctly in the template. So we'll go ahead and show that in CAD. So in this case, if you right click and rename and renumber, so you can label it sheet number one, and you can continue with index, or if you wanted to label it something else, you could. Rename options, rename layout to match your sheet title. So that's your sheet title here, and also down here. So if I hit next, and I go ahead and hit this as 2, and then I can say plan view drawing. Click OK. So now you'll notice that this is one index and two plan view drawing. And you'll notice down here your tabs have changed based off of what you put in your sheet set naming. Then if I go to the second page, you'll notice that this changed to plan view drawing. So now what we need to do is insert the sheet list table. So this is going to give a list of all the sheets that you have currently in the drawing. And how we do that is you right click on your actual sheet set. So you can insert sheet list table. And the style, there's a couple styles, but I just use the NRCS table as a style. And there's a couple options you can add and remove different columns. So in this case, there's two of them as a default. It's going to give you the sheet number and the sheet title. And then the title of the text is sheet list table. If you want to name it different, that's fine. But the default is set as sheet list table. Go ahead and click OK. And then go ahead and insert the sheet list somewhere below your vicinity map, somewhere you can see it. This is the table that shows up, sheet list table, which is your heading, sheet number, and sheet index. We'll go ahead and show that in Civil 3D. Go ahead and make sure you're on your sheet set. Right click, insert sheet list table. I always like to put this on the annotation layer. But again, there's multiple ones. There's legend, center, table, data only, standard. So if we just go back to the NRCS CS table as the default, and you can label this whatever you want. If you wanted to remove something, you could, and add something, or you can move one up and move down. We don't have subsets and sheets, so we don't have to worry about that. That's when you get into more complex projects. So we're just going to stick with the simple table. Go ahead and click OK. And then it's just going to ask for an insertion point. Go ahead and click OK, and you'll notice sheet 1, label, sheet 2, label. Now, if you were to add another sheet, copy this sheet, and I'll move it to the end. And that's Plan View Drawing 2. So how would I go about adding that to my sheet set? Before you do this, you make sure you have to save your drawing. Once you save your drawing, go ahead and right click on the example sheet set, import layout as sheet, browse for your drawing, sheet sets DWG, open that up, and you'll notice that I already had these two in there, and then it's allowing me to add another one, import the checked one, and now again it's created this one into my sheet set. I can rename and renumber, call it sheet 3. Then we can call this Plan View Trough. Go ahead and click OK. So now we have sheet 1, 2, and 3. Plan View, Plan View. And again, if you want this to show as a 1 on the bottom, the way you can do that, rename and renumber, you can do with this rename layout to match, select this prefix with sheet number, hit next, and you'll notice down here it has a 1 next to it. So it's just preference on what you want to have. So now if you go to Profile View Trough, it's going to be the same page as 2, but then again, Plan View Trough. But you'll notice on these has a 1 and a 2, but it doesn't show in the Plan View title, so it's not going to show page 2 on that or page 1. It's only doing the title. So keep that in mind also. And now you have your sheet list table, and it's only showing the first 2. So if you select your table, go ahead and right click and update table data links, and you'll notice that it'll add that third one to that, so you don't have to keep inserting this sheet list table. One nice thing about the sheet sets, you don't actually have to go into a drawing to open it up and publish it or print it. And this is the published sheet set, so we'll go through that real quick. You can do separate pages and publish them, or you can do the entire drawing. Go ahead and select what you actually want to call it. So once you go right click on a specific page or specific sheet set, right click, and you can do it as a PDF. You can publish it to the plotter. Choose the name of the folder where you want to save it and hit select. And we'll go over that example real quick. So in this case, if I wanted to do my entire sheet set, I can right click and publish to a PDF. Go to your folder, example sheet set. Go ahead and select OK. And in the background, it's running. Once that's completed, it'll show in your folder. But just keep in mind that you'll notice that the DST file is saved in, if this is my John Doe working folder for Woodgrass Waterway, just want to make sure that you set that up in that specific drawing folder so that sheet set will come through. Whoever is reviewing it, they can add that sheet set to the drawing. One thing I did forget to mention, before you actually do any of your publishing or printing, you got to make sure that you have saved your file. So after making sure you save your file, go ahead and publish that. So now that I created that PDF file, I exported it or published it as a PDF file. Go ahead into my folder, date modified, example sheet set, double click on that, and you'll notice I have all 3 different sheet sets, and it gives it a nice, one index. It gives you the labels of each one, and you'll notice it's shown also underneath the landowner name also. One other thing I would like to show you, if you've created a DST file for a project or someone has, and it's been approved, completed, and you need to print it back out, or if you wanted to look at it really quick, you can actually, or plot it real quick, you can open it up if you know where that file is located. So in this case, I'm going to go to a project that I know that has a DST file with it. And there's 2 of them located here. This one was created 2/26/20, and this one was created 2/26/20. One was earlier and later. So we'll take the most recent one. Go ahead and click open, and you'll notice if you just hover over that, it gives you some information. What the file name is, what the file size is when it was last saved, and who was it last edited by, and also the sheet size. But if I wanted to go ahead and republish that, I could go ahead and publish that again, 1 to the plotter or 2 as a PDF, if I needed to do something with that DST file, which makes it nice. If you needed to pull something up really quick and you worked on a project, you can actually go to recent ones, and all the recent ones that you've done, you can select on that recent project. You'll notice here that on the example sheet set, it has a little lock on them versus the other ones that are not current don't have a lock on them. Just means that these can't be edited for whatever reason. I don't know why the current one has a lock and the other one doesn't. But I guess it's just kind of a visual thing that, this is saying that, hey, you had this open right now. So to kind of wrap things up, Sheet Set Manager is used to create indexes on the templates. So I'll be working on updating all the templates that will have this new field located underneath of the landowner's name in place of the actual practice type. And these directions you'll then start to use on projects in the future and inserting the sheet list table and having those come up in your drawing and labeled for each sheet. And that's it for this video.